Imagine it's a Friday night and you want to go home and get some relaxation after a hard work week. The way that you're going to do this is you're going to watch a show on Netflix, a show you've never seen before. And the storyline is about a man who is getting helped by another man that's supposedly his friend, but he's really jealous of this friend. And the only way that he can become successful is to assume his friend's identity by any means, whether he is to do it physically or talking about him behind his back and lowering his reputation. But he really wants to be this person because where he's from, he's a nobody. What if I told you that show was called Tether? You see, guys, that show stars Myron Gaines. And it's important because I want to talk about this today. We've already seen it with Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala Harris is a person who is half Jamaican, half Indian. And again, she is tethering off the success of African Americans. Going to Howard University, living in Oakland, dating African Americans, prominent ones like Willie Brown, Montel Williams, getting ahead politically through the African American chain of excellence. But then when it comes to giving African American voters something like reparations, she's totally against it. But she goes around cosplaying as a black person. That's on the left. On the right, you have people like Myron Gaines. Now, earlier this week, Tariq Nasheed posted a really graphic video on Twitter about a Haitian cop that was beating this person up. And Myron had an issue with the fact that Tariq Nasheed said this.
He has a whole movement where there's foundationally black Americans and then Americans that, or then there's other people that are like people that aren't necessarily from that foundationally black. So if you're a first generation immigrant, you're from the islands, whatever, they don't consider you an FBA, which I think is kind of funny. I look at us all black, but that's fine. And he does this post, right, to kind of say, this dude's Haitian, he's not one of us. But I look at it like the general public is going to look at this, regardless if there's a Haitian flag on his head or whatever, that, oh, look, that's how they're going to look at it. It's a black dude.
You see, Myron has an issue with Tariq Nasheed delineating. That means Tariq Nasheed is saying that person isn't Haitian American. That person is not hashtag FBA or historically African American or historically Negro. His slave lineage doesn't come through us. It doesn't come through our same culture. But Myron is upset about that. He's the guy that's saying, wait a minute, we're all black. That's interesting, Myron, because if we're all black and if that's how you feel, then why did you post this? Black people, aka foundational black Americans, like Tariq Nasheed, summed up perfectly in this cartoon. Eternal victim mindset that thinks white supremacy is holding them back in 2024. And you see this, a black person, he falls on his own, damn white people, help me white people. And you have a white person saying, hey, that's my bite. That's very interesting for a person who says, we're all black and we're all the same. If that's the case, why do you have so much smoke for a specific sort of blacks if we're all black and we are the same? The reality is that you do have a problem with blacks. And before I go further, let me just say this. Your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson is an African-American. I'm hashtag FBA. I'm also a brother that's strong in the Pan-African community. But I have noticed on people's Instagram profiles, I don't want to show that right now, but some of you have seen it. When you see a lot of people from the Caribbean or, from African countries like Nigeria or Ghana, I've seen it when blacks graduate. I see hashtag Nigerian excellence. I see hashtag Haitian excellence. I see hashtag Guyana excellence, hashtag Barbados excellence, hashtag Ethiopian excellence. So why is that the case? If we are all black and we are all the same, then why are these people doing this particular thing, which is not wrong? There's nothing wrong with talking about you're Haitian or you're Jamaican. That's beautiful, right? But at the same time, why is there such a problem with the delineation? Because if you delineate people, then they can attach to the good things about your group, like a person like Myron can. Because he is black, he benefits from all the hard work that African Americans hashtag FBA has done. Anybody black can do that. And that's the truth. This is no disrespect to anybody that's black, but they can benefit. I was having a conversation today with some people from Uganda, and there were Kamala Harris supporters and things like that. And they were upset about the fact that Trump wants those immigrants out. And quite naturally, they were immigrants to America. And I put it to them this way. Would you like 100,000 African-American immigrants to come and get citizenship for free in Uganda? They said no. I said, great, why? Because we are Ugandans and we fought for this country, this land. I said, that's exactly right. So you don't feel that we should get it, right? They said, yes. I said, great, you understood my point. And then they didn't say anything. You see, they didn't want us to basically tether off their success, right? But the same goes with Myron. He wants to tether off the success of blacks and the great things that blacks have done. Like, you know, the fact that Solo TV 84 and Donovan Sharp were the ones that discovered him in Fresh and Fit, and Kevin Samuels hooked him up and started his channel and gave him the traction that he needed. A whole bunch of African Americans played a big role in the start of Fresh and Fit. If it wasn't for me, they would have never met Donovan Sharp. So he doesn't want to give anybody any credit for what African Americans have done for his career. But this is exactly why hashtag ADOS, and I know hashtag ADOS and hashtag FBA doesn't get along, right? But listen to this by Yvette Carnell, and it makes sense.
Nobody did that. Ain't nobody been around here judging her blackness. What we have judged is her lineage and her attachment to American DL, descendants of slaves. She has a Jamaican parent and an Indian parent, and neither of those parents is an American DOS, descendant of chattel slavery in this country. Not everywhere slavery. We know that was slavery in other parts of the world. But if you in the Caribbean or one of those places, if you in Haiti, then your issue, as we've said here many a times, is with the French. And if you ever get reparations from the French, I will clap, I will be happy, I will throw you a party, I will buy you a drink, baby, but I will not try to take your money. I will not try to eat that fruit, because I don't have no bones buried in Haiti. My bones is buried in here. I celebrate you, I will help you, but I understand that that is yours, and I think you understand that too. So the real issue is, just like I'm not Jamaican, just like I'm not Haitian, just like I'm not Eritrean, you are not American DOS. You are not, you do not have parents and grandparents who grew up on sharecropper farms, who can trace their stuff back to slavery. You do not have that. So what that means is that you are not a part of this tribe. That don't mean you are not black. It means you are not a part of this tribe.
You see, people like Myron want to talk down on our community, but they don't want you to separate from their community, because they know that it's a benefit of being able to attach yourself to African Americans. It's a benefit to be able to attach yourself to the struggle if you want, if you need to. It's a benefit to be able to play the black card. Because if we were to say, and this is no offense to anybody, because Tariq Nasheed responded, and I'm going to tell you how he responded. A Sudanese immigrant is saying FBAs have a victim mindset. Humanitarians fear as thousands of Sudanese flee to Chad on foot. Well, let's actually watch a video.
I'm here in Farshana, where Sudanese refugees are being relocated from Adre. They have fled from escalating violence in Sudan. Family and children have fled on foot, leaving everything behind. They urgently need help. We are leading the refugees emergency response here in Chad to ensure people are provided with emergency shelter, medical care, psychological support, and more. Every day, my colleagues are working all over the world to provide people forced to flee with emergency help. But we need your help. Please donate to support UNHCR emergency response.
This is not to look down on the brothers in Sudan who are going into Chad. This is a sad crisis, right? And these are still our brothers and sisters in the black struggle. None of these people deserve to be talked down upon. But the reality is that if you were to talk about Sudanese people and you're not talking about blacks, well, we're talking about this part of Sudan, which Sudan has right now in the last 20 or 30 years, a tumultuous reputation with the country, with the leadership, with the issues as it is. It's not really a positive light that the media is putting on Sudan. This is the reason why a lot of people have a hard time when black Americans, hashtag ADOS, want to delineate, because then you have to stand on your own about what's going on in your respective country, and in your and if your respective country is behaving in the manner that Sudan is, you can't just be black. And then when something is good is going on, you can remove yourself from that blackness and then claim hashtag Sudanese excellence, hashtag Haitian excellence, hashtag Jamaican excellence. No, when you stand as, you know, a person from Sudan, Then you have to stand with the good when you're excellent. But the world is promoting you like this. Now it's this. And he said it. Everybody looks at you as the N-word, which is crazy because you go out selling her out every day to the same people that don't like you. That means you have a mental issue and needs to get checked out. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy Usher D. Jackson back at it again with another episode of Celebrity Jump. Reach your fire, you do subscribe bell. We're out.